Hello, you guys. I am in Dallas, or Plano, as they call it. I'm staying at the, what is this hotel called? Marriott Dallas Plano Legacy Town Center. I've been here for a couple of hours. It's 5:13, so I'm an hour behind my typical time, but ironically, we just lost an hour, so like, this is probably the time that my body thought it was anyway. So I want to jump on here and welcome y'all to this video. So I'm spending the weekend in Dallas for a UF MBA summit focused on brand equity. And the most exciting part of this trip is that tomorrow we're going to go spend some time at the Frito-Lay headquarters, which we passed on the way in. So I'm really looking forward to that. Tonight's going to kick off with a mixer with some current UF MBA students and some alum. And then we have free time in the evening. I'm going to come back and actually work on some classwork. I have a project that we need to finish with my group. So I'm going to work on that. In the next 45-ish minutes, I'm gonna do a quick little makeup look. I'm gonna probably lay out my clothes, and I'm gonna spend a few minutes just researching the alum that are gonna be in attendance tonight. They did share their names and their companies and the year that they graduated from UF. So I'm gonna do a little bit of like just a taste of background research so I can go in knowing a little bit of something. As I continue networking and doing the work to expand my network, I want to be more strategic and deliberate about how I'm doing that. So going into tonight's mixer with just a little sense of who the folks are that I'm going to be meeting, I feel like will set me up for success. This is going to be a really fun weekend. I also am going to see my friend Tim Bria, who y'all have seen a couple of times now if you've been on my channel for a hot minute. So let's go ahead and get this trip started. You guys, I was really in there networking. I'm proud of myself. I feel like I made some really good connections. Of course, I saw some familiar folks and some familiar faces. I literally met someone. She told me that she used one of my LinkedIn posts as an example in like a LinkedIn branding presentation that she did for, was it a class thing or something? And I'm like, wow, my impact. That makes me so happy that people are seeing my content. I mean, if you're watching this video right now, literally thank you. It's just so cool. I literally started making these videos because when I was going into the program and I was doing my research and I was looking on TikTok and I was looking on YouTube, I didn't see anybody talking about their experiences. And as a Gen Z, like I love a vlog. I love a day in my life. I love a, let me show you exactly how and I wasn't seeing that. So I'm really glad that people are actually getting value from what I'm doing. And whenever they tell me, I'm a little shocked. Like I know I make the videos and post them, but I don't be thinking people watching them for real, but they're watching them for real and they're seeing my content. So networking was great. I made some great connections. I have 3 specific people in mind that I actually intend to reach out to after this, and they are alum, so they will not be at the remainder of the program for this weekend. I'm ready to wash and wind down. Like I said, project, maybe edit my Empower vlog. Watching this, the Empower conference vlog is already up, so go watch it right here. Maybe edit a little bit of that, and then of course read my book and then get ready for the morning. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, y'all. I just did my makeup. I'm about to put my clothes on, get dressed, go downstairs. Look at my makeup. I feel like I'm really getting better at this. I've been trying to get better at my skills because I want to do my makeup for my graduation photos. I'm trying to DIY that whole thing. I don't know if I've talked about that at all on this channel yet, or if any of those videos where I was discussing it, I've edited them into anything yet, but that's coming soon. But I'm like, the face is facing. Anyway, I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna see y'all down there. I just got dressed, 8:07, bus leaves at 8:45. I'm running downstairs, grabbing breakfast, my bag and things, and we're gonna get the day started. We just got off the shuttle and we're walking into Frito-Lay right now.
1930s. And it does run, it has a pan, it drips like old trucks are supposed to. At a time, as a PR thing, they created a huge, it's bigger than this one, just like this. Within Francisco family here at the headquarters and other headquarters. Matter of fact, there's 3 headquarters. In one Chicago location. So this represents, Dallas and Freedom Land.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
I love it because it's so colorful. Flower is a big deal with us. They may be here for a day, they may be here for 3 days, depending. So, yeah, it's a great space. I think personally we should raffle off a day in the.
What is happening? Water. Go home. Yeah. Although I was like, this is a fun excuse to come up here. Got myself a treat matcha on the way, and this is way more fun than responding to emails. So when did you guys fly in? Like, how long is your trip? Somebody tell me your itinerary.
A lot of people came in last night, and then we're here we finish tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Okay, nice. Where else are you guys going?
This is the only company meeting. The rest of our sessions at the hotel, we have a conference room, so they're doing 2 skill development sessions. Today is very technical focus, so it'll focus on 2 different projection models and how to forecast pricing. And
So this is really the tale of a brief and a rebrief and a rebrief and a rebrief, but the importance of a brief should be the key takeaway from this. So this was a shared audience for Doritos and Stranger Things, and how can we get them to join this battle? So For the Bold is the Doritos brand tagline, but trying to bring that into the Stranger Things world of how can we show that, the way that the characters in the show are bold in the fights that they fight, how can we let our consumers be bold in joining in? So then how does this all come to life? Introducing the Doritos Telethon for Hawkins. Our insight was that this audience was really nostalgic for the 80s. Obviously they weren't alive then. So this term kind of nostalgia.
As you've probably seen on the news, strange things are happening in Hawkins, Indiana. So now, it's time to be bold by sharing your message of support during the Doritos Telethon for Hawkins. Pick up a phone now to speak with David Hasselhoff, Paula Abdul, Alf, and many more. We'll even feature the boldest messages in our telecast. Call now to chip in.
Yeah, so this is that 360 slide now with our campaign kind of built in. So showing hey, we're gonna have these awesome assets, we're gonna put a ton of paid media behind it, we're gonna get PR behind it, and we're gonna bring this to life in out of home, social, digital. And then we did these mailer kits where we sent out both LTOs and kind of a teaser of what was to come, saying hey, tune back in on September 30th, call this number back, see what's gonna happen. And we had really, really high influencer sharing rates. So in this case, we're not paying them. We just say, hey, are you okay if we send you a package? They'll say yes, we'll send it to them. They're not guaranteed to post or say anything, but you have a cool product, a cool partnership, or a cool box when they want to share it. Just some of my key takeaways, I already touched on some of these, but if you're looking at a brand manager role, stepping into this role, 1, awesome campaigns can take a really long time or be sprints or both. In this case, it was in the works since 2023. We developed that flavor a year and a half in advance. We briefed in March. We kind of had to start over in July and get it together in 2 months. And then most importantly, strong relationships with your partners and agencies can make or break a program.
Kind of picking off of Max's point of the spend at the top of the presentation, do you have a direct or somewhat direct correlation of how that drove the business sales wise? Because a lot of the metrics you share were more media and impression and earned and all that, which is amazing. But I'm just curious, from a sales perspective.
The equity numbers are more fun to put on splashy slide.
Sure,
but yes,
sure.
We looked at, so obviously the LTO sales being the biggest LTO of the year. And it's we know that a Doritos LTO will sell. So it probably would have sold a decent amount without the campaign. But it beat the original forecast by 43%. And that's once we said hey, this is how we're supporting it. This is the program. So that's one easy number. But then we looked at who are the key customers that leaned in. In this case, it was Target and Walmart. And we could see that our perimeter display and our velocities of those customers were significantly up in that time.
So I'm gonna run the regression where my input y range, which is my dependent variable, is this log of sales. So let's go from here all the way to 104 because I only want to know the store A's information. So okay. So can you give me what is my baseline sales?
Linear, that log, natural log price.
Natural log price? Oh, the baseline sales. What is my baseline sales?
Do you have this?
Okay.
Wait, can you go back?
That's what I get. It's a regression.
Why does yours have 103 observations?
The Y is sales and the X is price, right?
Okay, I'm confused.
Oh,
Oh god, I'm not crazy.
oh, yeah. You should go all the way to 106.
Okay.
So then we should have great catch. Then you'll get a bunch of code. So this is where you specify, reorganize your data, and then also filter that I want to run just store A, and create variables for the linearized form, for the sales and then for the price, and my X variables. So these are the ones where we run at the very last. So that's the model that we run. And we can run regression like this. So that's exactly the same
All right,
thing.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I do not know what the footage that you just saw is going to look like. I was trying to do screen record on my computer. We just had a session with one of the professors at UF, and we learned about measuring brand equity using the BAS model, perceptual maps, and the ScanPro model. And while I am typically not an analytical, mathy, calculus-y type of girly, I was like keeping up a decent amount. The mathematical concepts and things like that really were over my head. I was grasping the applications of the data and the information, and I found that very valuable. Right now, we're on a little bit of a break. After this, we're going to go into another networking activity with the group. It is a much smaller group, by the way. I think there might be 15 of us. Then we're going to have snacks, and then we can have some free time or downtime to go change, and then we have a social this evening. After the social, I plan to go meet up with Tim Bria, and then tomorrow we have second day of the summit. So I've really enjoyed today. The Frito-Lay tour was really cool. It's a Friday, and as I expected, there weren't a lot of people working in office. I really did enjoy seeing the different parts of the building and everything. Like we saw the fitness center. They have trainers there. They have trails on site. We're in Dallas, so all the water features, including the one that I'm looking at right now, they're all man-made. They have a really cool cafe, chips everywhere, just chips. Then they have a little market you can buy some from, but they said they typically throughout the week will pull out carts of chips and beverages that are free to the employees. They gave us some chips. After the tour, we had a really cool presentation by a woman who's a brand manager there. She gave a really, really interesting presentation about their Stranger Things campaign and how they partnered with Netflix. And I was just so intrigued. She said a few times, do we have any questions? And I'm like, well, I have a million, but I don't even know where to start. So that just indicates to me that this is definitely a thread I want to pull on a little bit more. Brand management sounds really interesting to me. It sounds like very much a lot of relationship management, project management, creativity, and that's exciting to me. So I'm really glad I came, obviously, and we're just about not even halfway through the program yet. So I'm gonna go use the bathroom and then get back in there so we can get ready to network. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, so
I think of it as an opportunity of like attending events like this or going into a classroom rather than taking it online and seeing people walk the walk rather than just talking the talk. And I thought that really resonated with me as someone who's practicing what they're preaching rather than just reading it through a book and you're like, oh, okay, they have more academia background, but they don't actually have pure professional experience. And I think that's also important in the classroom. So that's why it resonated with me.
Mine is surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Oprah Winfrey. So I gave this as the quote for feedback on a couple of colleagues recently, and was asked, why did you pick that? And I said, well, I feel like those are the people that are actually helping lift our team and simultaneously challenge us. And that's what I aspire to be as a leader too.
Okay, mine says, if you're creating anything at all, it's really dangerous to care about what people think. And that's by Kristen Wiig. She's an actress, right? This resonates with me because I have so many like little creative ideas and little things I like to do, but a lot of times I get all stuck in my head about like being perceived, and that like stops me. And it's silly because most of the times I'm doing something, it's just because I like to do it. I'm not trying to like, even my little videos, I don't monetize them, but I'm like, are people gonna think this is dumb? So I need to take this advice basically.
So, as I mentioned, hopefully, right, you were intentionally listening and found something that somebody said that you like, right, just want to comment or have a conversation with them about. If you all go out those back doors, just outside the door to the right, you're going to see the snacks, the coffee and the drinks are still out there. So let's take 15 minutes. It's 3:15. Let's be back in here at 3:30. But grab a snack, coffee, connect with someone you haven't connected with. And then when we come back at 3:30, sit at a different table or sit with people you haven't sat before for our final activity.
I just got to Pinstack in Dallas. We're here for our social. There's a full arcade over here. And then of course there's bowling. I was told there's also laser tag and bumper cars. I'm feeling laser tag and maybe some games, but I definitely want a bev and something to munch on. So
Good morning, it's Saturday and it is the second and final day of this brand equity summit here in Dallas. It's 8:43 and our first thing starts at 9:15 and I have not eaten. So I packed my luggage, I'm all good to go. And I got that box yesterday and I knew I had extra room in my luggage, but we had a rough and tumble, but I got everything in there for the most part. For today, we are on site all day. So we're gonna start with a getting to know your fellow MBAs. So we're gonna do some more networking connection stuff. This summit, there are so fewer people than the other ones. Like there were twice as many at the other ones. Like it was like 30-ish. So I feel like we all like, I've definitely spoken to everybody who's here. Like no question. Then we're gonna have a session at 9:45. It's called crafting a cohesive brand narrative and visual presence. And then we're gonna do lunch, and then we're gonna do an alumni connection. Someone's gonna come in who's a UF alum or Warrington alum and talk about their career and experience and stuff. And then we're gonna have a cumulative challenge, which is like the final thing, putting everything that we learned this weekend together. And then we'll have closing remarks. It's not a full day. We'll be done around 3:15, and so that's day 2, so let's jump into it.
Brands that you just mentioned, I'm guessing you don't necessarily know their corporate brand narrative. They're just a brand that you love to use as a consumer. But all of us sitting in a business seat, when you're selling your brand, a brand narrative becomes infinitely more important. I'm gonna run through kind of why brand narratives matter, what we did to craft our latest one. I'll show you a brand video that we created with our narrative, and then we'll pivot to a couple rules that I think help build brand loyalty.
In your own careers,
and we'll have some
how can you
fun.
expand or like switch careers or go to a different industry? So I think it's okay to have that mindset, have that in mind, but the reality is things change so rapidly, especially now. I wish it was like back when my parents were like in their careers and whatnot, that you can just join a company, join a role, and you can be there until you retire. Now that's not longer the case, and you should not aspire for that either because it's not realistic. And the reality is they don't care much how much technical knowledge I know about AI or database and whatnot, or in the finance function or elsewhere. They want to know, how do we think about it? What are the frameworks I bring to them to help think through the problem? And then we have other subject matter experts that we can bring to bring that know-how about those specifics. But
You're gonna get all of this in your email, by the way. All right, so this is what's going on. Your CMO wants Lumenfold to become a household name and has tasked your team with sourcing and driving a collaboration that creates buzz and awareness of your company existence. With the household awareness being the main driver, you've been given the directive to source a collaborator who is relevant in pop culture and will help skyrocket your company's exposure, right?
Subu described the products, Max described why we're partnering with them. So we want to talk about the actual campaign and the collaboration. So they have a show on their platform called Mini Rennie. So our idea is to essentially have products placed in this show and we see Chip and Joanna installing it as they're doing a Mini Rennie. So we're going to partner on an episode and we're going to have them upgrade a family's space in their home using our various products, as you can see here.
We'll do that obviously by painting the picture for the customer. Light well, live well. This is kind of a creative idea. Just kind of looking at branding under the Lumenfold Plus Magnolia collection, smart lighting, energy saving home accents, just kind of looking at golden interiors, a lot of the things that they already feature and showing that in collaboration with the Lumenfold product. Another idea for getting the audience engaged is the Lightwell House. So having a pop-up home that lets the demographics that we're targeting actually walk through and experience the products. It's a very hands-on, having room vignettes, so idea for product purchasing, but also hands-on showing how to use the technology itself.
We just wrapped up our cumulative challenge for this UF MBA Summit, so that's going to be a wrap. I am more than glad I came. I knew it was going to be great. I really enjoyed our tour of Frito-Lay, especially seeing the presentation about their activation with Doritos and Stranger Things. I also quite enjoyed the analytical technical presentation that we had yesterday. It was challenging, but it was good. And then of course the ones we had today, both alum, one about brand communications, and the other one was an alumni connection where a UF alum talked about his career trajectory and how he went about pivoting. So all in all, this was a fabulous, fabulous experience. It was a little bit different than the other events that I've attended, the other summit and the other conference, simply because there were fewer people. There is no value judgment here. It's just certainly different to have a smaller group of folks. When there were more people, you had to do a little bit more work to make sure you spoke to every single person and made a connection. Whereas with this size group, it was quite easy to speak to every single person and have a conversation with everyone who was in attendance. So that was really nice. If you have made it this far in the video, that means you have come to the end of this summit experience with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or want to know more about what took place while we were here, feel free to drop me a comment below and I will do my best to get back to you. Until next time, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you next time. Bye.